Look what Brad tweeted yesterday. With today's close of Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime, Ripple has announced 5 major acquisitions in 2 years. G Treasury last week, Rail in August, Standard Custody in 2024, Medico in 2023. As we continue to build solutions towards enabling the Internet of Value, I'm reminding you all that XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does. Lock in. That's a pretty bold statement from the man himself. So the haters, I assume, will read that and say, of course he wants to give the illusion that reminding XRP sits at the center of everything, because the haters or whatever truly believe that this whole thing is an elaborate scam. And I mean, I personally don't think so. That's just my personal belief. You don't have to get mad at me. But been in this thing since 2016, 2017. And just witnessing the crypto space that entire time and a lot of the changes that I went through. There's people obviously way earlier in the space than me. I think they would attest to this, how we literally witnessed the development of a new asset class take place. There's going to be a movie made about this shit. I think they might already be trying to make one, but this is like, when we throw the rock 10 years, probably even just 10 years down the line, we're going to look back and go, fucking how crazy things would be. They're saying the sentient AI will take over by then. They're giving bold predictions. There's a video, AI 2027. Good video to check out. I cannot believe that people don't see this, that they've been playing chess this whole time. They acquired all these giant real companies. They are the Disneyland of crypto, dude. Like, when you want something done, you're going to be going to Ripple. It's fucking crazy. We witnessed it. It wasn't like we witnessed it overnight, dude. They've been laying the groundwork since they were founded in 2013, right? Ripple, but it was open coin before then. Dude, all the history behind this crap goes so deep too. This will be amazing, bro. I'm telling you. Like, if you got in early, even now, yet again, we will look back at this time. Oh, it's sitting at 250. It crashed, dude. Yeah, but when we look a couple of years in the future and it's at a minimum, I'm very conservative, at $15, you're gonna be looking back and going, damn, I wish I bought it 250. Like, we say that now, looking back at 2016, sitting at like 20 cents ish. It's actually pumped about 5% since he said this. I mean, he's either really putting it in our face that, like, guys, like, if you buy this, like, you might be pretty well off. Or, yeah, I mean, or that escrow truly is all theirs and they're dumping on retail, even though that's, like, not even proven. All this crap that's easily kind of verifiable. I don't know how it's even still a conversation. It wastes so much time. People just love wasting time. That's what I think a lot of these bots and shit are just fake, bro. Because, like, I started posting on TikTok, like, this type of content too, and immediately on one of my, was Bitcoin made by the CIA? Like, no, but yeah, but like, it's very complicated. People like to try to make these issues seem like they're so black and white, when has anything ever in the world not been some shade of gray ever, especially when we're talking about the makings of these families, the banking cartel, the central banks, how they rule us, essentially. You think any of this stuff is ever going to be simple? It's very odd Bitcoin came out 2008. 2008 was an interesting year, no? Okay, so they closed it. So how long now do we actually start to see some movement, you know, with XRP and the XRPL taking advantage? Like, when does this actually start kicking in? Because that's, yet again, all the naysayers, I guess what they be naying on Ripple is that, yeah, you're doing all these moves, but we're not seeing it in the price. Yet again, I think this is, and as do a lot of people, I'm not the only one, I'm not claiming to be the only one, this is so much deeper than I think any of us could ever even fathom. I really do, because yet again, when we're talking about the world's money and the next evolution of it, that does not happen overnight. I don't know why people really still do think it does happen overnight. Like, no, if you're doing something as ambitious as trying to preserve the dollar, and like, you got other countries trying to negate the dollar and work around it, and gold's going crazy, maybe they're going back to gold. Like, the flight of money is now, everyone's trying to figure out, where do I put my money? And this just seems to be the solution. Just so seems to be. I don't think just Bitcoin is the solution. I think it might play its role in there. But part of me does really wonder if that was the prototype. It's a very ambitious thing to say, because people treat this like a religion, but I'm really just trying to get to the bottom of it. And being in this time, it's like, the 5D chess being played. I love this shit, dude. This is so fascinating because it's like we literally get to witness the, I don't know, we just get to witness this shit. And then we'll look back in the history book and be like, I don't know. We'll all look back in 10 years if we're even still in this shit, but like if someone just brought it up, oh, remember when Gary like tried to stump the lawsuit? That's just history, bro. They're gonna make a social network about this. The movie, not like an actual social network. Who would I want to play Brad? I think I'd want... Give me your fan castings of who should just play Brad Garlinghouse in the inevitable Social Network 3, bro. Ripples in the Sea. That's the title of it. Monica Long, the day one homie. The opportunities now available to Ripple Prime, formerly known as Hidden Road, are expansive, with RLUSD already being used as collateral for a number of Prime brokerage products, and Ripple Prime looking at a variety of ways to utilize XRP. The future ahead is mighty bright. People, so there's a really big thing that goes on in this community too that fascinates me. People claim that when they introduce RLUSD, that essentially makes XRP useless. In and of a sense, something like that, right? Okay. So from what I've gathered, yet again, correct me if I'm wrong. That's the point of this. We need to get to the bottom of this. So the stablecoin, basically in a business sense, that's the real safe product that these financial institutions, like, you get them in on that, you get them used to the way the ecosystem works, you build the trust a little bit, and then you start utilizing XRP more. But it's also like they're saying you can't really cross border, I guess, a stablecoin if you're trying to send a fucking USD to a Euro stablecoin or something like that. There's like too many unnecessary steps between that process when you could just utilize a bridge asset like XRP. That's what it seems to be. So it definitely plays a role. I think they're both insanely important. I think you need the dual wield effect of that to essentially like blow it the hell up. I don't think it's just one. I think, yet again, people like to say, oh, no, like a lot of these things serve a purpose together. Hence why there's XLM Stellar. You got to wonder why he branched off and started that. Like, it seems like, we see a hole in this. Like, we need to patch that if this whole thing wants to work. That's what it seems like, bro. And the fact that these same guys are all behind it, bro. Jed McCaleb, the most mysterious man in crypto, but he's building the most like important shit imaginable. And Peter Thiel is a very interesting one because he's literally at the center of almost any major investing, whatever you want to call it, like angel investing to get a startup going. The dude who runs Palantir now, first of all, he's scary. There's like an interview where he hesitates briefly because he's building Skynet. He's the guy. It's either him or OpenAI, you can debate. But yeah, the reporter was essentially going, do you think the human race should essentially like strive on? And Peter Thiel's sitting there going, and the reporter goes, you're hesitating. And he goes, basically, I would never harm myself, Peter Thiel. And most importantly, Brad, Ripple Prime, formerly known as Hidden Road, now has direct access to DTCC volume, a 4 quadrillion market. Now, this sounds all too good to be true, because you always hear this stuff. Oh, XRP, Ripple, they're not. When I'm sitting here going, trillions is massive, and then there's people above me who are going, no, we're going for the quadrillions. They get really crazy about getting all that money. And it's like, I guess if you are going to go for the throat, you would go for all the money. You're the solution these guys need. They really are. I hope we look back in literally 5 to 10 years, which I think there's a strong likelihood we do. We look back at this shit and we're like, I can't believe we actually cracked the case, Watson, essentially. This is what's so fascinating, bro. The XRP army is literally like John Connor's resistance against Skynet. Even though like we're kind of walking into Skynet, if we're being honest, but at least what we're doing is trying to make money from rolling into Skynet, because someone's got to make that money. Someone is going to be making that money. They are trying to make that money. The only reason us, the John Connor resistance, can even make this money now is because we got the internet. Philly boy, XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does. Lock in. You heard it from the man himself. It's happening. Dude, I don't know. You got to keep yourself grounded in this space, but it's hard not to when, like, you've positioned so well throughout the years, and now, like, we're at the finish line, bro. The legislation, all these acquisitions, it's like they cannot be. Who's better set up than them? I'd love for people to point. That's why, like, I'm so eyes on kind of specific this company and Stellar, is because since Stellar's kind of like an integral part to this story in my mind, like, it all fits together. But I don't know. I don't see Ethereum making these moves. Like, yet again, I think they all serve their place, at least for now. But I think these guys are just gonna literally, I like that analogy, they are gonna be the Amazon of the fucking crypto world. Yeah, for real. PBD podcast, it's time to have Brad Garlinghouse on the show. It really is. Yeah. That needs to happen. He has these goofballs like Anthony Pompliano and one of the Cardones, and, like, dude, especially the Cardone guy he had on, it's so blatantly obvious he doesn't even understand kind of what he's saying in regards to crypto and stuff, and just how he negates questions back to, like, almost like it's a script of, like, yeah, no, Bitcoin is, like, we weren't even talking about Bitcoin. We asked you about other cryptos, and he's like, no, but Bitcoin is like Bitcoin, you know? You spell it backwards, it's like Coinbid. I mean, yo, this is crazy. What world are we living in, man? This guy goes, she's running for re-election. Who's running for re-election? 88-year-old Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton is suffering from dementia, says police reports filed after she was allegedly scammed out of $4,400. Get her back in. 10 more years. 10 more years. How much longer can she go? This is crazy, bro. Should be sitting on a golf course, sitting back drinking an iced tea. Like, you know what? Like, dude, we really don't realize, no wonder why nothing changes. It's the same people. Like, they literally just haven't even phased out yet for the positions to be filled. Techrium CEO, Ripple is building the new Wall Street with XRP and Hidden Road.
And I think that other cryptos, including XRP, have a use case, a legitimate use case. I think XRP's is a wonderful working model. I think that it's only going to get better. They made an acquisition today where I believe they bought a prime broker, and that's really big news because that means there'll be almost instantaneous settlement across all asset classes inside that prime broker. It'll be a wonderful start to the new Wall Street, that's based on blockchain that moves really quickly. No more 3 days for wire transfers.
That's insane.
We're gonna have instant money.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I think that,
dude, it's such a big, oh my god, it's such a 5D chess. It's crazy. I wasn't even making fun of this guy the way he said it. I'm just saying, like, oh yeah, they bought a prime broker. Like, did no one really understand that's, like, almost the domino, dude? Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, the business is now here, or at least they just closed it. Here we go. What was Brad saying? One-stop shop.
A prime broker is really a one-stop shop that allows all kinds of different asset managers, whether these are well-known hedge funds, trading desks, market makers. It gives them a one-stop shop venue to trade and clear everything from digital assets, derivatives, swaps, all kinds of different assets. And these guys are doing trillions of dollars of trades. Historically, those have been really owned by the traditional commercial banks, the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs. Banks now don't do, well, new players like Hidden Road, a company Ripple bought recently, is new to this space, and they're growing very quickly by serving that same market, but also including digital assets as part of the mix. Having a well-capitalized, a super strong balance sheet player like Hidden Road is allowing more institutions to come into these asset classes against a well-capitalized counterparty, and that is prime brokers bringing people into crypto in 1 minute.
Dude,
prime broker is really a one-stop shop.
The one-stop shop. That's a song title, bro. I'm working on an EP. I might actually use that for song 1, dude. Yo, listen to this. I got that indie rock vibe going. One-stop shop. It's the shop. Oh, dude, you can get emo with that. Are you kidding me? Feeling some pretty massive calm before the storm right now with XRP. Dude, like I said, we were up about 5%, up to about 261, back at 259. It seems like we've definitely hit some resistance at that wall. And whenever it's a weekend pump, I don't know. You're always wary with it because almost every single time it follows with a sharp decline. And yet again, as we're approaching that tariff threat deadline meeting with Xi, all that's really the next kind of deciding thing for the market. But there was something on here. Let me see if I can find it. regarding Scott Bessent. Here we go. U.S. Treasury official says talks with China concluded for Saturday. Very constructive. So that's a good sign. It's a good sign. This is kind of the pivoting moment, whether we get kind of one last hoorah, essentially, of bringing us down. Although I think if that happens one more time, that really would be the final straw and break a lot of people. We thought the $19 billion liquidation did that. That would be probably the black swan of all black swans. So in regards to the rebrand, I saw this thread of people essentially fighting yet again about the topic of RLUSD versus XRP, like RLUSD makes XRP irrelevant. So I want to see some of this. The first question to even ask is, how does the XRP token become more valuable from any of this? The circle part is the focus of what Ripple Prime is being used for, enhancing the utility and reach of Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD. Number 1, RLUSD is 90% issued on Ethereum, which doesn't even touch XRP or XRPL. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's just to kind of like gain market share for right now. You know, I don't really think that's a high indicator of anything. Like, it's a valid point, but I just don't think, yet again, I think this is a longer game. I don't, because yet again, although obviously this type of shit is not Blockbuster and Netflix killing Blockbuster essentially, but it's in that realm, dude. This is the first iteration of this crypto go. Like, they were the Blockbusters and shit, and they're no longer here, and people now go, who? The only value accrual XRP has is the burn of when transactions happen on XRPL. Since 2012, only 0.014% of the total supply has been burnt. So even RLUSD transactions on XRPL don't make it XRP more valuable. Okay. So you're talking about since 2012, only 0.014% of the total supply has been burnt. Okay, that's great, but we're talking about the volume that's literally right on the horizon with these recent acquisitions. When they're talking about trillions going through, that they're trying to finagle and make it more efficient. We're going to use this here for this product. Oh, it's a cool use case here. Like, dude, it's a tool in the utility belt. That's what I don't really think people are understanding. Like, there's multiple different avenues you go with this shit as you go. Like, yet again, when this whole thing started, like, stablecoins weren't even a thing. Danielle Dixon from Stellar was talking about that. Things evolve, man. I mean, I really do think it's a Batman utility belt at their disposal. And they're like, yo, we got the customers now. Now we can fucking use this for what we want to use it for. I'm going to cover some more stories in the Patreon, like how these people are so disingenuous and they literally, with the best performing asset of the last 12 months, it's XRP, but XRP is somewhere, nowhere to be found on the list. Whatever, we're going to talk about that in the Patreon and more. There's some more annoying stories to get through revolving like Peter Schiff, I don't know, all sorts of crap. So if you guys want to support the channel, it would allow me to dedicate more time to do these types of videos. If you want, yet again, the extended cut of this, it'll be over there. I'll be posting more exclusive content. And the official name for our subdivision of the XRP army is going to be called the Minutemen. So if you want to join the Minutemen, you could go do that with the link in the description, and it helps your boy out, and you get exclusive content. So do that. What is that? Was that a commercial? What the hell is that? 2-piece chicken finger, $1.99.